Hey guys, welcome to my channel. We have another excellent video coming up for data structures and algorithms. Before we start, I've got a request to ask you. 86% of the people who watch this channel have not yet subscribed, but I don't think they understand how much that means to me and how much that supports the production of high quality videos that I do. So if you haven't already subscribed, I have a request. Please subscribe to my channel and help me grow my audience and my portfolio of high quality videos. Thank you. So let's jump into this problem. This problem is also an easy one. This is the two-dimensional array, and I will run you through the task. This is the white screen on this page that is from HackerRank. It helps me explain the problem. This black one at the back is a Jupyter Lab. I will be coding with you. I will be showing you how to solve this problem. You can get the code easily online. I don't think that's why you are here. I think you are here to watch me break this problem into different sections, solve them bit by bit, and put it all together as a whole solution. What I have also started doing is to give you multiple options. I'm not just going to give you one solution where I can. I'll give you multiple different ways. And that really reinforces your learning because you can look at this problem from different views and tackle it. Let's see what this task is. I'll show you what kind of input we will be getting. We will be getting a matrix of 6 by 6, or if you want to call it an array of 6 by 6, because there are 6 rows and there are 6 columns. But this problem reminds us of a very typical thing, an hourglass. If I do a Google search of an hourglass, and this is the shape of the matrix that we are looking at. So you've got a bigger top, then it goes really thin, and then it opens up. That's what the hourglass looks like. Now, I'll quickly tell you what the task is. There is a function that we have to complete, which is called the hourglass sum. It will have to go inside this, right? Inside this 6 by 6 matrix or array and find some hourglasses. For example, I'll show you one. This is the top, this is the middle, and this is the bottom. That together forms an hourglass. There are so many of them. Let me show you. This is the top, this is the middle, and this is the bottom. Another one. This is the top, this is the middle, and this is the bottom. So now you can see that there are multiple hourglasses that I can take out from this 6 by 6 array. There are 16 hourglasses in a 6 by 6 array. Okay, there are 16 of them. The hourglass sum, which is a function that you and I have to write, is the sum of the values in an hourglass. Okay, find one hourglass and add all the elements together and make it a sum. Calculate the hourglass sum for every hourglass. Okay, there are 16 of them. We will find 16 different sum and print the maximum. Oh, okay, I think that makes sense. Once I have this example as an hourglass, I will need to find the sum of every one of those hourglass. How many of them there are? 16 of them. Okay. -9, -9, -9 is -27. Okay, that's minus 27 up the top. And in the middle, there is another -9. Okay, another -9. And there are 3 other -9s. Okay, so there is another -27. You will see that that's -63. And you can see that that's what you're getting here. What's the next one? -9, -9, and 1. All right, I'll do that. -9, -9, plus 1. That's what exactly I'm doing. There is a 0 in the middle here. Okay, and plus 0, plus. And -9, -9, and 1. Okay, this shouldn't be plus, -9, -9, and 1. You will see that it adds up to -34, and that's what I have here. So this is the task that we have. We have to do all of this, all of them, and then find the maximum value of these. So when I look at this, I think it's pretty easy. The maximum value is 28, and we have to return 28 as the maximum summation. Now, how do we write this? Well, let me just clean up my screen here, right? For us to think about it, let's look at what HackerRank has provided. HackerRank has imported some libraries, that's okay. And there is a function called hourglass sum, it's right here, that we have to define. Let me copy that and put it here. This is what I have to write. And then once I write that, rest of that has been provided by HackerRank. All I need to do is to fix this hourglass sum or define the hourglass sum that receives an array. But what type of array are we dealing with? Well, maybe I will just copy these 2 lines. This is relevant because I can show you how I will solve this problem. Let me bring those in here, and I will just put this in an indentation, and I will run it. I will enter these values from here. So enter line 1. That's the first line. Enter. and enter line 2. This will really help in showing you how I will solve this problem once I have the array. So that one comes next, and then that one. I think you should do this with me as well, because then you can understand how this problem can be tackled. All right, now that I've done that, let me have a look at the array. Ah, that's what the array looks like now. All right, let me now show you, if I were to select this first one, how I would select it. This is an array, right? I will take the first row and the first column, because that's where it is, the first row and the first column. If I run that, you will see that, yep, the result is 1. For example, if I want to take this 0, let me see what row is it. It's sitting in row number 1, because we start counting from 0. This is row number 0, and this is row number 1. Okay, I want something that sits in row number 1. What column is this sitting in? This is column 0, column 1, and column 2. So if I put this 2 and run it, you will see that the result is 0. That's this 0. All right, now that we understand what we are doing, let's see how do we iterate over taking the hourglasses one by one, adding them up, and finding the maximum. All right, let me clean this bit up, and I will push this down. I will call this option 1, or solution 1, if you like. Let me just call it solution 1. I will provide 2 solutions. The solution number 1 will be an easier one. For now, if I want to find this first hourglass, which is this one, maybe not those zeros, maybe this one, and these 1, 1, 1s, let me see where are they sitting. So this first one, right, is sitting in row 0 and column 0. That's that one. The next one, which is this number, is sitting still in row 0 and in column 1, because it has moved 1 to the right. And then the next one, you would understand that is sitting still in row 0, but in column 2. So that's 1, 1, 1. Now, how do I take this one here? Let me call this the top row of an hourglass. Now, in the middle, let me just move this a bit forward, because I want to make it look like an hourglass. This one sits in row number 1, because it sits in this row. But which column? That's column number 0. This one is column number 0, and this is column number 1. So that's 1 and 1. And I could, and I could easily call this the middle row, right? And now I just need to complete the bottom row, which is here. That would be, all of that will be on row 2 and column 0, again, row 2 and column 1 and row 2 and column 2. This forms the hourglass, and this one will be the bottom row of the hourglass. So you can appreciate that this forms this first hourglass. I can't really select it, but you know what I mean. Now, how do I put this into more of a for loop? Because I can't really do this every single time. It's going to take a really big while for me to do this. So let me come down. I will write a for loop for the rows that changes from each row to the next row. And I will write one for the columns that goes this way, column, column, column. So first, let's start with the rows. I will tell you what the range will be very shortly, but for now, that's not my focus. I just want to say that I'm going to use for the indices of rows, and I'm going to use J for the indices of columns. So, and I'm going to also define what range it is. Now, you might be wondering, how do we define the range? Well, how many hourglasses do exist in one row? So this is the top of hourglass 0. This is the top of hourglass 1. This is the top of hourglass 2, and this is the top of hourglass 3. So there are 4 hourglasses going this way, and there are 4 hourglasses going this way. All I need to do now is to go from 0 to the range of 4. Let me show you what the range of 4 looks like. Oops, let me do that. You will see that a range of 4 goes from 0, 1, 2, 3. That's exactly what I said. This is hourglass 0. This is hourglass 1, hourglass 2, and hourglass 3. Okay, I'll go from 0 to 3 because range doesn't include the last one. All right, now I will start writing the top row, the middle row, the bottom row, and then I will add them. And once I have added them, I will compare it to another value, which I will talk about shortly. For now, let's just write the addition and the summation. As exactly I described it, and remember that you can't really run these. This is not a code for you to run, but it's just an example. I will define the top, I will define the middle, and I will define the bottom. Once I have these, I will call it current sum, maybe, and I will say add the top to the middle to the, and add that to the bottom. This is the structure I'm working with. So for me to add the top, let me just do exactly copy this, paste it here. I will start with this row, with this row, and with this row, because the row will be changing within the for loop. I'll just put the row there, and I will make this j, and I will make this j plus 1, and I will make this j plus 2, because I wanted to move to the right-hand side as we go. All I also need to do is to add these from commas to plus signs. So I have replicated this into here. I will do exactly the one next. So if I come here for the middle, all I have to do is I plus 1 and j plus 1. That's easy as well. And now I'll come down here, I'll copy that, and I'll paste it here. So I plus 2, this one is going to be j as is. This one is also I plus 2. This one is j plus 1. And this one is I plus 2. And this one is j plus 2. All right. So what I'm going to do, let me just extend this window a bit so that you can see all the code. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure these are commented out, because if I run them, I will get an error. Let me run this, and every time print the current sum, right? What happened here for intent tuple? I forgot to change these to plus signs. That's not there. If I run it, you will see that I've got 7, 4, 2, 0, 4, 8, 10, 8, 3. There must be 16 of them, because this is 16 Hourglasses. Do I have the answer? And the maximum is 19. Let me see if there is a 19 in the answers. Yes, there is a 19. So it is working. But I don't really have that comparison, which one is the bigger sum. For me to do that, I need another variable to perform the comparison. Because, for example, I will select one Hourglass, select that Hourglass, and then I need to compare it. Is this the biggest sum compared to the other Hourglasses or not? I need that comparison. Let me fix this. For me to be able to run that comparison, I will make a new variable, and I will call it max sum. This will help me to perform that comparison. I will take this as a negative float of infinity, because if you take the negative infinity, when you compare anything to it, it will be bigger, because negative infinity is so small. So this is what I will do. And instead of printing this current sum, I will write an if statement. I will say, if the current sum that you created from adding the top, middle, and bottom is greater than your max sum, which we start with negative infinity, then you put your max sum as your current sum. It's like overwrite your max sum with a new current sum, because it is bigger than that. Once you have done all of that, you will have to return your max sum. I know that this return should not be here, but when I do this, you will trust me. I will say, define this as a new function. What was the function that HackerRank wanted me to call this? The function was called the Hourglass sum. Okay, define an Hourglass sum function, and I want you to put all of this under that. So let's test this approach. I'll show you another approach, because that one will be a bit fancier. But for now, if this works, we are successful with approach 1. So I'll come up here, and I'll replace this with the Hourglass. Let me move this here and make sure this was pasted correctly. So that one goes there, and there are 2 for loops and a return. Okay, let me run this code and see if it runs. If it does, that's a very good sign. And then I'll jump into solution number 2. 3 sample test cases are very successful. That is very good. If I submit this code, you will see that, yep, all test cases are successful. That's brilliant. That's huge. Okay, so this is great. Let's jump into the second option. So this one was solution number 1. I'll open another one. I already had these, so let me delete these extra code. I'll just open a new one, and I'll call this solution number 2. This one is going to be very short, and it's going to use a lot of what we used here. So look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly copy all of this. And my solution 2 is going to be a bit naughtier. Otherwise, it's exactly the same thing. So instead of going top, middle, bottom, what I will do, I will just not bother using them one by one. This is what I will do. I will just do this. I will add them together in one go, because I don't have to have them separately. So if I drop this as well, you will see that I will add them all together, and I will call this the current sum, right? and I will get rid of it. This is as easy as that. So I have summarized everything into less number of lines of code. So if I copy that, come here, and I will replace the hourglass sum with what I just did. So come up here and paste. Yep, I have pasted that successfully. I'm not really sure what's going on in here. Okay, that works. Let me run the code. Hopefully it runs because I haven't really made any huge changes. Yeah, I don't think it doesn't really like this. What I will do, I'll put it all in these brackets and see if it runs. All test sample cases are successful. If I submit this code, hopefully it is correct. Yeah. Okay, cool. I think this is pretty cool exercise. I enjoyed doing it. Hopefully you enjoyed it too. So if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. When you share your learnings with others, it helps you grow more than anyone else. So don't worry about sharing it with your friends. Thank you very much.